Okay, first thing is to make sure you're warmed up, and that can start with just a jog across the garden, starting slowly and building up, and then just loosening up. We're not going to start with anything too vigorous, okay, and we just shake loose. Once our body temperature is up from the run, we should be fine to continue with the exercise. The first one is going to be push-ups. Now you see I'm on a hard surface, you might want to use a mat if you've got one, but otherwise just be careful when you're going down. Okay, so quite simply, hands shoulder width apart, and try and get a straight body as much as you can, and keep as straight as you can, and go down slowly so it's controlled. And try to do 10. If you can't do 10, just do 5. Main thing here is to hold your tummy in so that you develop your core strength. Okay. And then if you want to repeat that and increase the amount you do, obviously it depends on your level of fitness and strength. Okay, next thing is to work on agility and a little bit of speed. Main thing again is to make sure you're warmed up properly. So you've got 2 cones set out approximately about 5 meters apart. And the main thing here is to get a little bit of spring from your feet, and that involves relaxing your legs and not running straight legged. Okay, so this one's quite simple. It's just starting slowly and then bend your legs as you turn the corner. Make sure you bend, and then you can turn on your right hand side. Dog's in the way. Come on, move out of the way. Bend your legs. You might join in a second. And try and accelerate now as you turn out of the cone. Okay. So we just add a few more cones to make it a little bit like a slalom. And again, just to get those muscles fine-tuned and coordinating, we have to make sure we get nice and low. Okay, so we're going to go in and out on the end cone. Make sure we get a nice turning. And nice and low, push off, and go round. Again, we're staying nice and low. And we're trying to accelerate now as we're going at a faster speed. And that you'll find is more tiring, but start with the straight one and then we get the zigzags. Okay, so with the same theme about developing spring, as part of this agility exercise, all you do is get a stick. You've got something like a piece of cane, a pole, that's from a brush that has come off, and you can put it on some bottles or shoes, just so it's only 2 or 3 inches off the floor. And just a little bit like double jumps, we start with nice bend in the legs, and we're just going to make sure, obviously I've got something to keep an eye on there, that we check our shoulder when we go backwards, okay, just to avoid and make sure you're away from anything you can hit. So it's just nice and spring, and we just have a nice rest and go back, make sure we check behind us, and then we try and do it without a break. Okay, do the same sideways. Move out of the way, that's a good boy. Okay, so we just get used to it, get that nice spring, and then we're going without a break. Okay, and again, go for as long as you can with that. Still got the same situation with the stick, and this is just to include a little bit of coordination with your agility as well. So you can start, for the young ones particularly, you can just hold the ball in your hand. If you want to bounce the ball, You can bounce it again to get coordination. So we bounce. Okay. And try and do that. And then the most difficult one then is to have bounces, either kicking the ball, start with a bounce, and over we go. And we might start doing a few without bounce. Not as good as yesterday's one I did. Okay, and we're over again. And then you can try and do it without bounces. Okay, again, make sure you can't hit anything. Make sure the pole does move if you were to hit it rather than staying put. Okay, and obviously you don't want to turn your ankle. Come on, out of the way. Stay there. Good boy. So he's trying to go over. Okay, I'm going to squash the dog now if I go over the other side. Okay, so he's trying to go one side to the next, keeping the ball in the air, and see how many you can do, and let us know.